High school basketball prospect Mikey Williams, who signed a deal with Excel that is expected to generate millions for the student athlete.
Mikey Williams was on track to become an NBA superstar, the kid everyone believed would make history. With millions of followers and massive brand deals before even finishing high school, he seemed untouchable. But one shocking night flipped his entire world upside down.
Faith, God, I was stuck in a tough position, so I wasn't gonna get myself out of that. Neither was my lawyers or anybody else.
Facing multiple serious charges and the possibility of years behind bars, his dreams of basketball glory vanished in an instant. The question everyone's asking is, how did America's golden boy fall from grace so quickly? Let's break down this wild story. The unstoppable rise and the shocking crash. Mikey's path to greatness started early, built on family roots deep in athletic success. His dad, Mikey Williams, was a high school basketball standout at Sweetwater High, while his mom, Charisse, made waves as a softball catcher and outfielder at Hampton University. With talent running through his veins and a household that pushed for hard work and discipline, Mikey was built to win. From as young as 4, he was dribbling like a pro. But it was in middle school that people realized this kid wasn't just good, he was next level.
I got into basketball I probably started playing when I was like 4. My pops was a coach, so I was already around basketball and stuff all the time.
That one viral dunk video in 7th grade changed everything. Overnight, Mikey Williams became the name everyone was talking about. People were calling him the next LeBron James. The clip spread like wildfire online, and before long, his Instagram was blowing up with millions of followers cheering him on.
I wasn't. I was young. I was probably in like 7th grade, 8th grade, so all I knew was basketball. Like, business didn't really exist to me yet, you feel me? So it all just happened really fast.
But Mikey's rise wasn't just luck. It was strategy. His dad, Milan, knew his son had something special and built a brand around him that went way beyond the basketball court. At only 13, Mikey made history by locking in a major NIL deal with the streetball brand, and won. He became the youngest athlete ever to sign something that big. Reports said it was worth 6 figures. This marked a new era where teen athletes could turn internet fame into real business.
Really, my pops was like the mind behind that. I didn't really know, a lot of stuff I was doing, I didn't know why I was doing it, but I was just doing it. He just telling me like it's gonna make sense.
When Mikey joined San Ysidro High School in 2019, the hype was unreal, and he didn't disappoint. As a freshman, he dropped an insane 29.9 points per game, grabbed rebounds, dished assists, and led his team straight to a championship. But one game in particular made him a legend. December 13th, 2019, against Montgomery High. That night, Mikey went off for a mind-blowing 77 points, hitting 9 threes like it was nothing. That insane 116-52 blowout victory made history. Mikey shattered the San Diego County single-game scoring record with a jaw-dropping 77 points, breaking the old mark of 71. It wasn't just a crazy stat line, it was a moment. The kind that instantly turned a local baller into a national sensation and had the whole basketball world talking. From that night on, the awards came flooding in. Mikey was crowned Max Prep's National Freshman of the Year, named CIF San Diego Section Player of the Year, and earned a spot on the All-State First Team. Every major college wanted him, Kansas, Duke, North Carolina. The list went on. Scouts were calling him a once-in-a-generation player, and honestly, they weren't wrong. But Mikey's rise wasn't only about what he did on the court, it was about how he built his image. His social media game was unmatched, with Overtime turning his life into a hit YouTube reality series that made fans feel like they knew him personally. The kid who once froze in front of cameras became a marketing genius, using every highlight and post to keep his name buzzing.
Like, that's sophomore year.
That was my freshman year.
Freshman year? Okay, freshman year.
Yeah.
To be that young with that many followers, like, was it hard for you?
Yeah, cause I didn't know what to do.
And when the NIL era kicked in, Mikey was ready. At just 17, he signed a huge multi-year deal with Puma, one of the first high school players ever to do it. He dropped his own sneakers and apparel, popped up in NBA 2K22 promos, launched NFTs, and teamed up with brands like Lace Clips and Cash App. His NIL value shot up to a wild $3.6 million, the kind of number that turned heads all across the sports world. Even NBA legends couldn't ignore Mikey's talent. LeBron James gave him props, Kevin Durant called him a must-watch, and Drake even brought him into music videos and shout-outs on social media. The kid who blew up off a 7th grade dunk was now hanging with global icons, living a dream life that most pros don't reach until years into their careers. When it came to college offers, it wasn't even a chase. It was a celebration. In November 2022, Mikey committed to play for Memphis under the legendary Penny Hardaway. Drawn to the school's strong NBA connections and Penny's iconic name, scouts were predicting him as a top 5 NBA draft pick, a flashy, high-scoring guard who could easily become a star on the big stage. But the higher he climbed, the more pressure built up behind the scenes. Fame that big at such a young age comes with distractions, and Mikey was feeling the weight of it all. The same social media spotlight that made him famous also made it hard to breathe. Away from the cameras and cheering crowds, things started to shift. Mikey later admitted there were moments where he didn't make the best calls, times that could have gone bad, times he now sees as lessons. He owned up to it, saying he had slipped up a few times just being young.
I don't think it's the situation that happened. I think it was situations that I've been in before that could have been like, not so good. Because what happened is just like, God sat me down, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was never convicted of doing anything.
Right.
It was a rare, honest glimpse behind the highlight reels, showing that even rising stars can stumble. People close to Mikey had seen the warning signs long before things hit the fan. Scouts had quietly noted some troubling patterns, inconsistent focus, outside distractions, and the growing pull of fame. Those red flags hinted that something deeper might be brewing beneath the surface. Then came March 27th, 2023, the night everything changed forever at Mikey's $1.2 million home in Jamul, just outside San Diego. What should have been a chill Tuesday night turned into chaos that flipped his whole future upside down. Reports say an argument broke out after a group of unexpected guests showed up at the property. Things heated fast, and as they were leaving in a Tesla with several passengers, shots were reportedly fired, hitting the car, but thankfully, no one got hurt. That moment shocked fans across the country. The same teen known for his calm control on the court and polished image online was now facing headlines that no athlete ever wants to see. It was a dramatic turn that showed how quickly fame and fortune can spiral when life moves too fast. What followed was a long, painful legal battle that stretched over a year and a half, turning Mikey's story from a basketball fairy tale into a cautionary one. Every new update seemed to chip away at the superstar image he'd worked so hard to build. On April 13th, 2023, he was taken into custody by San Diego County officials, facing several serious charges that threatened to end his career before it had even truly begun. When the charges dropped, the details hit like a storm. Reports listed multiple serious counts, including several assault-related accusations and others tied to weapon misuse, painting a picture that left fans stunned and heartbroken. Each count carried heavy potential consequences, meaning Mikey was suddenly staring down the reality that his best basketball years could slip away in a courtroom instead of on the hardwood. The basketball world was shaken. Social media blew up instantly. Bleacher Report's post alone got over 32,000 likes as fans tried to process the downfall of someone they had literally watched grow up. Many couldn't believe it. The same kid they'd rooted for was now facing the fight of his life. Commentators quickly began comparing the situation to Ja Morant's own off-court controversy, calling it the Ja Morant effect. Conversations online grew heated, raising concerns about how fame, pressure, and social media attention can impact young athletes trying to balance success and real life. Meanwhile, Memphis coach Penny Hardaway, who had worked hard to recruit Mikey, stayed cautious, releasing a brief statement. "We are aware of the situation and are gathering more information." Behind the scenes, though, he reportedly struggled with the fact that his star player might never step foot on campus. As the case dragged on, things only got messier. Mikey pleaded not guilty, but prosecutors weren't done. During an October 2023 hearing, new evidence came forward, shaking everything up once again. Judge Sherry M. Thompson Taylor ruled that there was enough to move forward to trial, and prosecutors added 3 more felony counts, bringing the total to 9. The situation had officially gone from bad to worse. The updated charges made things even worse. More counts were added, including new accusations of threats and even a theft-related charge tied to the same incident.
They say they didn't see Williams firing a gun. The San Diego County Sheriff's Department says people were arguing about guests inside the house where Williams lived. No one was hurt in the shooting. Williams is out of custody on $50,000 bail.
Suddenly, Mikey's legal exposure ballooned to a staggering potential of decades behind bars if everything went against him. The pressure was unreal. The toll on him and his loved ones became obvious fast. In later interviews, Mikey described the experience as surreal, sitting in courtrooms, watching people debate his future while he couldn't do much but listen. It was the kind of moment that strips away fame and ego, leaving only the weight of consequences.
I feel like the people around me were more like scared. Like my pops would call me and he'll be, you feel me, stressing and whoop the whoop, because he done been through it, you feel me? He didn't had to go through the same thing, and it's like, he don't want you, like, obviously he don't want me to go through it.
Then came the financial hit, and it came hard. Puma, the brand that had once celebrated his rise with a massive multi-year sneaker deal, officially cut ties, citing the legal situation. Soon after, Lace Clips, a sports tech company, also dropped him. Its CEO, Jonathan Nussbaum, didn't sugarcoat it, saying, "Williams is not someone we will associate with our brand." That move triggered a domino effect. Mikey's NIL valuation, once soaring at over $3.6 million, crashed as sponsors quickly backed away from the drama. In just months, the young athlete, who had once been one of the most marketable amateurs in sports, found himself with nearly all his major deals gone. Back at Memphis, things were no better. After his arrest, Mikey was indefinitely suspended from all team activities, effectively sidelining him for the season before he even had a chance to play. The university, trying to protect its image and stay compliant with NCAA rules, quietly distanced itself from the player who had once been their crown jewel.
Like, at first, it was like I was in the gym every day, and then once I started going through what I was going through, like at Memphis, like the AD was tripping on me. He wouldn't let me in. I went back home, and I was like, man, it was about August or something. I just went back to the crib, and I was like, I started like going to the gym maybe twice a week, because that wasn't the main thing on my mind. It just one day it hit.
Everything he built, the fame, the hype, the endorsements, was suddenly slipping through his fingers. The loneliness hit Mikey harder than anything else. The same kid who once fed off the roar of packed gyms and the nonstop buzz of social media suddenly found himself in complete silence. No games, no cameras, no fans, just long days and the heavy weight of everything he could lose. Basketball, the thing that once brought him joy and purpose, now felt like a painful reminder of what was slipping away. The pressure was taking a toll, and it showed. His public appearances became rare, and his posts nearly vanished. Mikey later admitted that he shut down his Instagram multiple times just trying to escape the chaos of legal stress and online judgment. The confident star who used to move like he owned the spotlight now struggled to even step into it. The energy that once fueled his rise had turned into exhaustion and doubt. It was a tough reality check for someone who'd spent years living in front of millions. By the summer and fall of 2023, Mikey was stuck in a strange in-between. Too young to go pro overseas, blocked from college play, and still dealing with ongoing legal battles. Meanwhile, his peers like Jared McCain and Rob Dillingham kept moving up the ranks, grabbing headlines and opportunities. Mikey, once the face of the future, could only watch from the sidelines, trapped in uncertainty while the game kept moving without him. November 30th, 2023 became the day everything shifted for Mikey Williams. After months of tension, headlines, and uncertainty, the court hearing marked both the end of one chapter and the start of another. For the first time in nearly a year, there was a real sense that maybe, just maybe, his basketball dream wasn't completely over. In a deal with prosecutors, Mikey entered a plea to a single felony count connected to making criminal threats under California law. The other 8, more serious charges were officially dismissed as part of the agreement, a huge legal turning point. The outcome balanced accountability with the chance for redemption, showing that while the mistakes were serious, the door to rebuilding his future was still open. As part of the deal, Mikey was ordered to complete anger management sessions, cognitive behavioral therapy, gun safety courses, and 80 hours of community service. If he successfully completed all of it, the felony could later be reduced to a misdemeanor, giving him the opportunity to move forward without the same heavy label following him. The basketball world responded with a wave of support. Fans, former players, and even some critics took to social media to cheer on what many called his second chance. One viral post by Jam John compared his situation to a 3-to-1 comeback, pulling in over 17,000 likes. People were ready to see redemption instead of just downfall. From that moment on, Mikey seemed determined to focus on growth and self-improvement. The story that once looked like the end of a career was slowly transforming into a shot at a comeback, a rare moment of hope after a storm that nearly ended it all. Mikey threw himself into completing every part of his plea deal like his future depended on it, because it did. By the time his August 12, 2024 sentencing came around, he had gone above and beyond expectations. Not only had he finished all required programs, but he also put in extra hours volunteering with youth groups, showing real growth and a drive to give back. Judge Thompson Taylor, who led the hearing virtually from Florida, recognized his progress and officially reduced the felony charge to a misdemeanor. Mikey was given 1 year of summary probation and a 10-year restriction on owning or handling firearms, but most importantly, no jail time. It was a huge moment, finally opening the door for him to start piecing his basketball career back together. Still, the world he was returning to looked nothing like the one he'd left. Even before his legal situation wrapped up, Mikey had entered the transfer portal, deciding to move on from Memphis after feeling that the program wasn't fully behind his comeback. In March 2024, he made a bold new move, committing to the University of Central Florida, UCF. Coach Johnny Dawkins, known for believing in redemption and second chances, welcomed him to the team in the tough Big 12 conference. For Mikey, it was a clean slate, a fresh shot to prove himself again. The 2024-25 season marked his long-awaited return to the court, but this time it wasn't about fame or hype. It was about rebuilding from the ground up. His stats showed a player working hard to find his rhythm again, one game at a time, determined to earn back the respect and trust that once came so easily. During his comeback season, Mikey suited up for 18 games and started in 5, averaging 5.1 points, 1.9 rebounds, and 0.7 assists in about 14 minutes per game, shooting just over 37% from the field. Sure, those numbers weren't anywhere near his high school dominance, but they meant something much bigger. Proof that his basketball journey wasn't over yet. Still, the mental and emotional grind was just as tough as anything he faced in court. In interviews, Mikey got real about the struggle, how it felt going from a projected NBA lottery pick to a bench player fighting for minutes. He talked about learning patience, about rebuilding not just his game, but his confidence, one step at a time. There were moments where his old spark showed up, like when he dropped 14 points against Iowa State and Oklahoma State. But the road back was rocky. The long break from competitive play, plus a few injuries that kept him out for 19 games, made it hard for him to find a rhythm again. It was clear that this comeback would take time. By March 2025, Mikey decided it was time for another reset, entering the transfer portal again to find a program that believed in his potential. A month later, in April 2025, he committed to Sacramento State, turning a new page in his redemption story. Now playing under head coach Mike Mike Bibby, a former NBA All-Star and Olympic gold medalist, and with Shaquille O'Neal stepping in as president of basketball operations, Mikey's next chapter looked promising. This time, the focus was clear: rebuild his legacy through discipline and dedication, with all eyes on his future, not his past. As of September 2025, Mikey Williams stands at a crossroads that few could have predicted back in his high school glory days. Now 21 and gearing up for what could be a career-defining sophomore season at Sacramento State, he's fighting to prove that the once future NBA star still has what it takes to make that dream real. The kid who once lit up social media with highlights and hype has grown into a young man who talks about patience, growth, and learning from the past. His journey has transformed him from a viral sensation into someone who truly understands what rebuilding your life looks like. Mikey's story hits deep. It's both a warning and a message of hope, a reminder that fame can fade in an instant, but redemption is possible if you're willing to put in the work, stay focused, and keep grinding even when no one's watching. From prodigy to public controversy to a player chasing redemption, his path shines a light on how modern sports can lift someone up fast and test them even faster. With social media, NIL money, and pressure all colliding, his comeback is showing what it really takes to rise again. Mikey's final chapters are still being written, and one thing's for sure: it's not how you start the game that defines you, it's how you finish it. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment below. See you in the next one.